Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another glorious episode of Bussin With The Boys, episode 145. I'm going to repeat that again because it sounds so sweet when it comes off the lips. Episode 145. We are absolutely just out here, ladies and gentlemen. Things are going fantastic. You're subscribing, you're rating, and you're unsubscribing, and you're re-rating, dude. Is it a little cheat code? Yeah, but when we played PlayStation, a little Grand Theft Auto back in the day, what do? We hit the Y, we hit the triangle, square, X, X, B, what, left, right, all that shit. And what happened? You got to fly or whatever the fuck you want to do in that game. A big thing, and this is a huge deal, and I know we talk about it every single week, but you got to button up and listen very closely because there's a lot of main talking points today. And you know your boy's reading level, it's like a turbulent plane the way we get that thing going. The Chevy Silverado is the most dependable, reliable vehicle on the market. You know that. I'm going to hit these paragraphs now, and you're going to listen. You're not going to jump forward. You're going to listen to everything going here, because let me tell you something. It's almost draft day, and everybody's got an idea of what their team needs. And if you're looking to give your own team a winning season, you need a new 2022 Chevy Silverado. From the popular LT model all the way up to the top of the line high country, these new 2022s Chevy Silverados have a redesigned interior, which gives the cabin a spacious and more premium feel. Elbow room, boys and girls, elbow room. We all need it, some more than others, JP, but we all need that elbow room. It's available in the 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Silverado also offers, for those of you who want just a little smaller, the 12.3-inch configurable, it's a big word, it's a lot of syllables, configurable driver information center for new levels of personalization. Strap on the cleats and get off the road in Chevy's most capable off-road pickup, the first ever Chevy ZR2. Next level off-road capability right from the factory. With Multimatic, I had to read that before, with Multimatic DSSV dampers for more suspension travel. Front and rear electric locking differentials ensure that max power goes to all the wheels. Aggressive off-road cut front bumper and large underbody skid plate. That's a lot of words. Just so you know, there's a little flare in those bumpers, and when you hit something on the bottom, you got that skid plate, make you nice and safe, ladies and gentlemen. Silverado is as strong and dependable as the people who drive them. Put some muscle on your team and make your story a strong one in the new 2022 Chevy Silverado. The Chevy's unbelievable. It really is. Thank you, JP. It's outstanding, boys and girls. And you can get everything you want. You want the minivan, you want the truck, you want the sedan, you want the two-door, you want the four-door. You can get whatever you want, because that's what Chevy does. We hit you high, we hit you low, we hit you right in the middle, right? We get after you all day and night. We have an outstanding podcast for you guys today with Mr. Sam Darnold. That man has had a lot of triumphs in his life, and a little bit recently, a couple little rocky deals here and there. But let me tell you, when we get into this podcast, when you see the whole thing, I think he does a phenomenal job of navigating those waters. His mindset on the whole thing, how he handles it, he lets things come to him, and he just keeps on going through life. I think it's an unbelievable thing. It's a little different than me, but there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. Am I right? I never understood that reference, but I guess that's what we're doing today, right? We're skinning cats. Sam's an outstanding guy who grew up in San Clemente, California, and did a couple things with him. We did the tier talk with him. We did the locker room talk with him. The locker room talk, you think's going to go one way, and then it actually hits you on a different way. So buckle up for that whole thing. But as always, starting last week, we have our shout out, no free shout out of the week. Let's go, boys. And let me tell you, boys, every week we get more and more excited for this one. The boys in the back start rumbling when we're outside. They start chattering. They start loving on each other. What are you saying? Oh, I'm not going to tell you till we start, because we got a big deal going. We got a lot of news today, but first we're going to hit this shout out, no free shout out of the week. We started with Bloss last time. It was so good. We're going to do it again. Bloss, what do you got for us, baby?
So my shout out this week, I'm going to have to go with probably an easy one, and I hope nobody else has it, but Pat McAfee and Logan Paul.
That is outstanding. Outstanding, because right before we got on the bus, I said, does anybody have Pat McAfee? But it's okay.
I think I was in the restroom.
Were you in the restroom?
Yeah, I was in the restroom.
You were in there for about 20, 30 minutes. We had a whole conversation about it. But hey, regardless of how my feelings are right now, that's an outstanding shout out, no free shout of the week. Would you care to elaborate on which one?
Yeah.
You want both of them?
No.
You're taking both.
No.
But I think it's an outstanding shout out. What you got for us, Bloss?
Tough. I swear, I had no idea.
I'm not mad at you at all.
I'm kind of pissed at myself.
Hey, listen, this is a little bit of adversity for our bus, but I'm glad you took it first. I should have gone to somebody else. Probably should have hit myself first. Now looking back on it, hindsight's 2020, but I'm proud of you for jumping on and getting this thing done. Why did they get your shout out? No free shout out of the week.
Yeah, they get the shout out because of the athleticism they showed in wrestling and stuff like that. Because people think about wrestling, the whole fake thing and all that other stuff, but there's an art to wrestling.
Truly.
Whether it's selling punches, whether it's being in like communication with them, like just being on the same page. That's tough. I think it's a lot more difficult than people give them credit for. But to be a social media personality and then like making that jump to wrestling and learning that quick and picking up on it, I thought it was awesome. And they performed super well on the biggest stage. Essentially, the WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of wrestling. Is that correct? Yeah.
I'm guessing. I'm not, like I've said before a lot of times, I'm not a huge wrestling guy, but I do respect the craft, and I'm a big fan of both of those individuals. Huge in the social media market, huge, whether it's YouTube or Twitter or Instagram. Those guys are absolutely killing it every single day. I think going on the Pat McAfee show, seeing how they do things, how they interact with each other, what they got going on, it's definitely something you look at as a guy doing a podcast also and go, wow, it's pretty special. And also with the Paul brothers, both of them, right? They're changing the world. They're changing sports, changing boxing. To go on an outstanding stage, for Pat to be able to do the whole beer thing with Stone Cold Steve Austin, then get that stunner put on him real quick. I mean, you got to love it. That was an outstanding shout out. No free shout out of the week. I loved it, boss. I think it was outstanding. JP, what do you got for us, baby?
I got something that I should have shouted out a long time ago.
Oh.
Because right now it's kind of past due for me. But I was driving around the other day and I was passing a school and the whole school was outside. All the kids were wilding. For sure, a fire drill. So I'd like to give a shout out, no free shout outs to fire drills during tests.
God, that's outstanding, dude. And it doesn't happen a lot. The test with the fire drill doesn't happen very often because those teachers, the faculty, everybody talks to each other. Hey, it's going to happen this time at 1:15 p.m. Make sure you have nothing big going on. But when somebody messes up, whether it's the teacher or the faculty, and you get that thing, get a little break, get that noggin a little rest before you get another set in.
Talk to your classmates a little bit.
Classmates, hey, what you going on with number 3? Right. Well, what is that? What is pi? I don't know. I thought it was edible, and now it's numbers.
Lincoln for some reason.
Yeah, it's a crazy deal. That is a great shout out, no free shout out of the week. I loved it, every single bit of it. Jack, you hit us with something special last week, and I'm not saying you have to live up to the same standard as you did, but my God, sir. Last week was very special, and I can't wait to see what you bring with us today.
Yeah, I'm going a little bit of a different direction this week. I don't want to bring the energy down on the bus because it's peak right now, and we were having a little bit of energy focus earlier. We're trying to get back to this point. Yes. We're doing good, so I don't want to bring the energy down, but my shout out of the week is to the late, great Maggie Josephine McPherson. My grandmother passed away last week, and I went to her funeral yesterday. And she was 95 years old, so she lived a beautiful, long, healthy life. And it just seeing all the support of all these people who probably were her friends' children show up and just speak about her and speak on her name. It was great. So you just celebrating her life. Just got to throw her out on the bus. Shouting out Maggie Josephine McPherson. That's mine for the week.
Maggie Josephine, outstanding shout out. And it was a bit of a pivot, right? We're hitting different directions this whole thing as we do every single week. And I think that's a beautiful. Did you happen to say anything? Did you get up?
I didn't say anything in the actual ceremony, but like I said, I got to speak to one of her friends who's 91 and she's still sharp as a tack. And when you speak to someone who's had that much life and you can just see how someone affected them, it's just you're damn, did I even know this person who's my grandmother? Obviously you want to think you knew your grandparents and all your older relatives, but they live so much longer than you've even existed. So it's just cool to see how people can truly impact other people's lives and make them feel like they can do better every day. So it's what she did.
The transition of life, baby. We're always in different seasons of our life, and you got to know your grandmother for a very long time, but she lived a lot longer before you were even born. I'm sure she was a beautiful woman. Look at you, right? I'm sure your mother and father are beautiful, and she must have been the same way. Shout out Maggie. Shout out Maggie. That was beautiful. And I love the different phases you're giving us right now. You're going, got to go back and forth. But all of it's getting right with yourself before you get right with the world. Don't think I forgot about that, my boy. Don't think I forgot about that. Garrett, let's go. What you got for shout out, no free shout out of the week?
My free shout out of the week is going to be finding the right barber for you.
Oh, okay.
What
you think about that? You hear that little crinkle in there.
Hey, it's all right. You get a shower. You might be good.
Hey, dude, you're right. I always finish that workout and come right here. I'm a stinky boy.
There's been a lot of, ups and downs with the barber. So I switched this morning. and I will be going back to East Nashville Beard and Barber.
Yeah, to pop that top
I do
for
have a
us.
hat on right now because I thought I was going to sneak in a little gym guy.
Yeah, sit a
but
side piece for us. Very nice.
I'm not going to lie, I thought he cut my neck doing the straight razor, but it was just that tight.
Guy's a pro.
Guys
are pro. See, I'm always growing my hair out until I'm cutting it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a 2-week, 3-week guy. I like to kind of live with the ebbs and
This
flows
will probably be
of
the
life.
only cut until the end of summer.
Really?
Probably.
I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait to see your winter beard come back too. That thing, that's real man shit. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy is that this is a summer beard, and that I couldn't even grow 5% of that summer beard, and his winter beard is Grizzly Adams.
Grizzly Adams, dude,
Crazy.
a man of Alaska. You're up in there. You're up in the pines, chasing bears down and beating them up. They see that beard, they start running. Yeah, your boy needs a haircut, probably a shower. And yeah, the beard game, Jack, I'm with you on that. Look at this. I got some pubic hair running around my face. It's all to hide that tragic jawline, though. You know what I'm saying? We're all born with things in our lives. I got a small piece. I got a bad beard. Overall, 4.5. Am I right? That is an outstanding shout out of the week. As always, we're hitting him in all different phases. And I love the adversity that was brought to me today because before we got on here, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I made the decision. Pat McAfee was going to be my shout out of the week. I think everything he's done, I've already hit it, but he's a guy that killed it, followed his own dreams, said one day he was going to do what he did and went and did it. And that's an outstanding shout out. I can't take 2 because that'd be unfair and I wouldn't be doing my job as the captain of this ship right now, as our boy Will has just had his baby, by the way. By the way, that's the first time I just said that. By the way, we're no longer on Baby Watch. Baby Watch. Here we go. Baby Watch. One more time now. Baby Watch. That's right. Will Compton has had his baby, and she is as adorable as the sunrise, I will say. She is a very beautiful baby, but I can't keep jumping around. I have to give my shout out, no free shout out of the week. And that one goes to Tyreek Hill signing that fatty contract. Going down to Miami. He not only got a massive contract, the taxes went down too, boys and girls. He went down. He was at Kansas City, flew on down to Florida, that Sunshine State in Miami, which I'm sure is an outstanding franchise. They have beautiful color uniforms. Beautiful tradition, a great owner, and went to the University of Michigan. And he, I'm sure, is going to do great things with Jalen. Was it Jalen Waddle? Is that his name? Jalen Waddle. I don't want to get it wrong, but a couple of speedsters on the side. Tua definitely has all the things he needs. And that guy, Cheetah, they call him that for a reason. Guy's outstandingly fast, made so much money and less taxes. That boy's officially has won the free agency 2022 season. Let's get a little love. Get a little love to our boy, Tyreek Hill. Now to jump back on, yes, like as I said before, our boy Will Compton has had a baby. He is now a father. He's been talking about it for a long time, but now he's in it, boys and girls. They're still at the hospital right now going through all that. I'll let Will talk to you about that process and how it all went, because honestly, it's not my place. I can't go in there and say, hey, this happened and that happened. I know all of it right up here. It's right up top, but I'm not going to give it to you until Will has the opportunity to say everything that went on. Will say that Char was an absolute stud. Handled herself, crushed it, did amazing, and now they have a beautiful baby because of it. So very happy for them. A lot of things happening. A lot of things going on. We got Augusta, right? We got the Masters coming up in a little bit. But not only the Masters, we have the National Championship tonight. National Championship between North Carolina and Kansas. All right, and you kind of thinking to yourself, as a non-basketball watcher, kind of feels like every year's like this, right? Those two are really all in it. That's kind of what we're doing. But National Champions happen. Stories, history will be written tonight. And I want to know from the boys, who do you guys got? Yeah, North Carolina, Eric Church is the #1 fan, apparently, dipping on the boys, right? He dipped on the crowd, said, sorry about it. I'm going to go see this Final Four game. And he has to show up at the finals, right? He can't not go to that. Yeah, I'm sure. I hope he has a concert tonight so he can double the fuck down on everybody. I hope he can do it. Yeah, so Bloss, I don't care if you take my pick this time because there's only 2. Who do you got tonight between North Carolina Tar Heels and the Kansas, was it Jayhawks?
Jayhawks, yeah.
What? Rock Chalk Jayhawks, baby. That's their chant. I love it, dude. Couple of basketball schools out there killing it.
I like UNC tonight. I like them riding high off of that Duke win and how that rivalry's kind of played out and how
Coach K to bed, huh?
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
was on that tour.
Yep. So I like UNC tonight.
No, UNC for Bloss. Yeah, great team. I'm sure. I mean, we got to go back and forth with a lot of these things, and I'm hoping for a little. I hope it's not a clean sweep back here, but I can't tell you guys what.
Yeah.
Oh, is Kansas the favorite? Yeah. I love it. Bloss, I love how you're going against it. That's you're showing your Twitter personality right now, the way you're talking, baby. JP, what do you got for us?
I got Kansas. I got Bill Self in Kansas. He mentioned Coach Krzyzewski. I think Coach Krzyzewski might text Bill Self, the Kansas coach, give him a little inside scoop on UNC.
Ooh.
I don't think
Would that
Coach
be
K.
cheating? I don't think that'd be cheating,
Coach K's
right?
done. He retired.
That's true. He can't get in trouble anymore.
You can't have UNC win the national championship
No.
last year.
Anyway, he had an opportunity to beat them.
Oh, that's crazy. Hey, the little shot from Bloss there with no mic in his mouth for
Hey.
a second. They had an opportunity to beat him and they didn't, he said.
Bloss is setting up like a WWE beef with you and now me, apparently.
It sounds like Bloss wants the hands.
God.
He wants the hands. And he's a cop too, so you know if you ever touch him, there goes. Assault brother, you're out of there. You're in the cuffs the bad way like we talked about before. You guys want to put a little bet on it? You guys got a little thing?
Yeah, let's bet on it.
Let's bet on it.
Loser gets pepper sprayed?
Hey, easy.
I'm just asking. That was the first thing that came out of my head. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bloss knows. What do you think, JP? Be able to take a pepper spray?
No, I can't take a pepper spray.
Okay. All right. No ball's fine. What do you got?
Let's do, I don't know.
Gotta be something.
I got the Jeopardy theme song on my head right now, boys. Do, 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 do.
You said wings?
That's fine.
We'll do
Oh,
some.
we're gonna buy wings.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, where we going though? Strikeout?
Strikeout. for
Strikeout.
sure.
No free shots to strikeout. Probably the best wings in Nashville though. Bates
Gotta
is
be.
probably watching this pissed off because Memphis is the best. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Bloss also called out Memphis. Says they're not even a basketball town. We can get in that later. So we got wings on the line in the back. Let's hit the second row. We got Jackie Boy. Who do you got?
Little context. I became a bandwagon fan for the first time in my life when I was like 9, and it was to the UNC Tar Heels.
Love that.
The coach, Roy Williams and the Tyler Hainsborough era, it was just electric to me. So obviously rolling with the Carolina Blue, but there's a new white post that's kind of sweeping around, Brady Manick. And if you haven't seen him, he looks like he's straight out of an Amish community.
Love
but
that.
The kid fucking
Great
balls.
woodworkers.
He's a grinder, and I mean he's just kind of taking the storm. He's kind of taking the spotlight of what's homeboy's name from St. Pete's, Doug. Since Doug's kind of fizzled, it's not the same caliber, but
Yeah, Doug was a special man.
we'll throw a photo up of Brady Manick. I actually tweeted at him from the Bussin account, giving him a formal invitation to come on the bus. 'Cause
Wow.
he's got this energy. So I'm riding with the Carolina Blue tonight, hoping they lock in another title.
Yeah, bring it out for the fighting Amish, dude.
Yeah.
That guy's gonna kill it. That's out. He looks like an Amish dude with the beard, the slick back hair. Looks outstanding. He's got a Tar Heels. Is he now? I did like the Doug guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was outstanding. Yeah, he just looked like an accountant, didn't he? But he was out there slaying them threes. All right, we got 2-1 Tar Heels. What do we got there, Garrett?
I feel like I got to go Kansas.
Got to, right?
Yeah.
The 2-2 right now. Is there any reason other than you just want to be different? Or I guess make everything
No,
equal?
I mean, I don't know basketball really, so I'm cool either way. Good game, all I could ask for. I just think it's gonna be tough for UNC. Come off of that hard game against Duke. There's some dudes shaking up. Their
Ooh.
big guy in the post. Can't think of his name right now. He's a beast. He's a
Armando.
beast. But I don't know. I could just see it being a little tough to get up for a big game like this after in the Duke UNC games, like what
It's
everyone
all time,
wanted
right?
to see. So,
It's the rivalry.
yeah. So now, I mean, if they do it, if they pull it off, it'll be badass. But for this sake, I'll ride with JP.
I love that. Would you two care to put it on
Yeah, we'll do the same thing.
the pepper spray?
Yeah.
We're not doing pepper spray?
I
Hell
mean,
content, boys.
I'm not gonna do pepper spray.
Okay, so but if you win, Jack, you'll do pepper spray?
Yes.
Put him on the mic. Make sure he says yes.
Yeah, I'm good with wings for sure.
Oh, okay, all right. That's fair enough. That was
Pepper
a lot
wings?
to ask from the boys without even telling you about it before. I didn't even know that was going to come into my head till it did. Yeah, I feel like Duke and UNC are the most storied rivalry. I'm not a basketball guy, so am I right in saying that? And for those of you who disagree with me, you're more than willing to call me out. I really have no dog in this fight, I guess. Big Eric Church fan. I don't know how I feel about what he did. But I'm going Kansas, boys. I'm gonna go Kansas on that one. I'm gonna do it. I'm going Kansas. So put me down for the wings as well against both of you. You guys are gonna be fat little piggies when I'm done with all you. Whoever wins, fat little piggies. But not only is the national championship game going on, Augusta, and I feel like I keep saying Augusta. The Masters. The Masters happening next week, correct? This coming week. This Thursday. I apologize. Listen, your boy's been living under a rock for a little bit. I drank a little too much on Friday, and it's kind of been a little bit of a whirlwind ever since then. But the Masters is happening, and it really feels like the Masters sold out for Tiger Woods. They put the whole thing about him on there. Do we think Tiger Woods is going to win this thing? Or is this a ratings clip here? What's that?
Why not?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, more people, including myself, are going to tune in to the Masters because Tiger Woods is on the game or in the match, on the game.
No, I think that, I mean, anyone can win any weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine being a young guy and then you get matched up with Tiger at the Masters. That's just got to be nerve-wracking.
Right.
So in that aspect, I think he'll make a good run, but there's some studs.
Yeah.
Like some young dudes that are studs. But I mean, you always want to see Tiger on Sunday. If you see Tiger in red, that's a good thing.
Yeah, John Rahm to win the whole thing.
Absolute beast.
John Rahm. He's an absolute beast. Is that who we're betting on?
Went to ASU. He's a stud.
Gotta love that. The ASU kids probably got a little venereal disease in there too, right? The way ASU rolls out there. It's a pretty crazy town.
He seems like a pretty buttoned up guy.
Is he a buttoned up dude?
Yeah.
See, I'm more of like a
golfer.
John Daly guy.
He's a golfer. Yeah.
You know, John Daly is like that though. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of things going on. The Masters is happening there. That's going to be a storied event as always. And Tiger being a part of it is just going to send that thing to the damn atmosphere, boys and girls. Now listen, I've touched on it before. Sam Darnold has come on. He was the third overall pick in the 2018 draft by the New York Jets. Up and down there, right? We had a up and down thing going on. He had Adam Gase, the big eye guy, right? Where he's doing this. You don't know what he's on. Is it coke? Is it LSD? But the guy must have been having a good time with that thing. It was a wild gig, right? And I'm sure he's fantastic. I've never met him. But the eye thing really kind of spooks you for a second, right? It gives you that pre-October feel where you're like, man, it is a little spooky in here. He had to deal with that. I'm not saying he had to deal with it, but that was one of his coaches. Ends up getting traded to the Carolina Panthers and gets hurt in week 3. They bring in the long-lost hero Cam Newton into that whole thing, and now things are up in the air with his future. We're not sure what's going to happen with him, but I will say the guy's got just a good head on his shoulders. He keeps it mild. He keeps it dialed, and I think any Panthers fans, any Jets fans, and any football fans in general are truly going to enjoy this. Please buckle up, fasten those seatbelts, keep your hands inside the ride at all time, and make sure you subscribe and rate 5 stars. And I know last time we jumped in right to the episode, and then all of a sudden I thought you were getting Fred Taylor, and then boom, bing, bang, boom. I hit it again. You get the ad read. So I'm just letting you know there's another ad read coming up right now because you got to pay the bills. And a lot of you people have been out there saying a lot of things, doing a lot of stuff, talking trash about our ads. You guys are doing it, baby. You guys are sending us to the moon, so people want to jump on the bus and make sure their ad reads are read. So if you're mad at anybody, mad at yourself, I said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it 1,000 times. You guys are beautiful. But don't get mad at something you did yourself. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, unsubscribe and resubscribe. And here's your next ad read. Icon Pass. It all starts now. Icon Pass is on sale for the 22-23 season. It's time to keep the stoke alive. Seek a season of fun in the mountains and do across 50 of the best ski destinations in the world. Let's do that again, but let's all do you. All right? Okay. It all starts now. Icon Pass is on sale for the 22-23 season. It's time to keep the stoke alive, seek a season of fun in the mountains, and do across 50 of the best ski destinations in the world. When you claim this multi-destination pass, you're dropping into a celebration of joy in the mountains. Whether it's immediate screen access, hooting and hollering down your favorite runs next season, or connecting with the crew for an afternoon brew, there's always an adventure for how you ride. These new pass options have been added to the mix. That was a bit of a stutter there. Starting at only $249 adult, the Icon Pass Session 2-day and the Icon Pass Session 3-day offer a range of affordable entry points, furthering the flexibility and availability for riders of all means and styles to experience this family of unique worldwide destination. Explore pass options at iconpass.com. Now, boys and girls, that was an outstanding one. I've said this before. I've never been skiing or snowboarding, but I cannot wait to do it. And when I do, I'm going to use Icon Pass. We are going to get you the Sam Darnold podcast now, episode now 145. It's unbelievable. Now, right here, boom, There's going to be a little button you can click if you're mad about things. Hey, the only way to take your anger out is to click this button, subscribe, unsubscribe, or resubscribe, and then leave us some comments. If you love it, if you hate it, if you're indifferent, doesn't matter. As long as you do 5 stars, we absolutely love it. So keep it up. Keep going. Love you. Big hugs. Tiny kisses. Keep it up. Sam Darnold, let's rip. All right, yeah, perfect. We're already in this thing. You know, this is actually my first time doing a podcast by myself.
Are you nervous?
Well, not by myself, but like with somebody.
Yeah.
That's not Will.
Yeah.
I could say I'm a little nervous right now. A man of your stature.
We'll be all right.
Man who's making news around the league everywhere right now.
Really?
I don't know. I read a couple things.
Dude,
You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
pay attention, so
You don't pay attention to anything.
no.
I feel like
If
that's a
it's about
load of
me, I just-
bullshit. Really?
Absolutely.
So you don't see any of the stuff people are saying, things
It's not
going
healthy.
on?
Yeah, it's not healthy.
It's not a healthy thing, but at the same time, it's like one of those deals where
Yeah.
you're kind of forced to watch
That's why.
sometimes.
Well, that's why it's cool when it gets brought up in
Mhm.
person, because then they're like exactly like you just did.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I don't know any news that's come out about me. And then
Yeah.
you can fill me in on everything.
We'll have to in a little bit for sure.
Yeah.
We're actually going right now too, by the way. Welcome to Bussin With The Boys. Outstanding citizen with us today. 3rd overall pick in the 2018 draft, Sam Darnold. Please give him a round of applause, boys. Electrostack to have him on. Charismatic individual. I've actually met him once before, if you guys didn't know this, at the Rebel Ranch, right?
Yep.
We were boozing together one day. Not a whole lot of boozing, but there were a couple drinks passed around. Did you like the place?
It was great.
Yeah.
Live music.
All the Brad Burberry, right?
Yep.
He came up, and how do you guys know each other? Same
Garrett.
class?
Garrett.
Brad. Yeah,
same-
it's all the same thing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a great dude. We just connected through really our agency,
Really?
just people that we know, and then actually a lineman that's on our team, Pat Elfline, is boys with him.
Yeah.
Through like training and stuff. So, but yeah, they're all great dudes.
Awesome
Linemen,
dudes.
you know what I
Right.
mean?
Hey, the
Fun
salt of the
people.
earth cats.
100%.
100%. And so you guys came up to Cave Creek. What brought you guys up there?
Where were we? That bar, Buffalo Chip.
Yeah, outstanding bar.
So we had a night out in Buffalo Chip, and it was great.
Mm-hmm. You guys watch the bull riding and
We
everything?
did. Yeah.
That's awesome. Give me 1 second, because I am already leaking, boys. Holy shit. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Hey, watch it, JP. Watch yourself now. I know. So, hey, sometimes you're sitting down in that chair a little bit, and it's like, oh, the tarps comes off a little bit. Yeah, you guys went to the Buffalo Chip. You saw bull riding?
Bull riding.
The whole thing?
Little line dancing. It was
Oh,
fun.
you know how to line
I
dance?
don't know, but I tried.
Did you?
Hard. I tried really hard.
And that's all that matters is the effort.
It matters. The effort. Yep.
No doubt. What? So did you learn how to two-step too?
I've learned in the past, just when we started line dancing and it wasn't going my way,
Yeah,
I just kind of stepped to the side.
no
And
doubt.
just started, just doing my thing.
Kinda bobbing back and forth.
Yeah.
That middle school
And
thing
then-
where you kind of peer back and forth, you're staring at the other girls.
100%.
And we're waiting to see who's gonna make a move first type of deal.
Yeah. And then at Buffalo Chip, I feel like there were a lot of pros
Yeah.
out that night.
Yeah, they get down out there, dude. I could give you a little hint on line dancing. This might just be my opinion, but I feel like you leave line dancing for the ladies, right?
Yeah.
They go out there, they get in their lines, they enjoy themselves and do all that. Two-stepping's where it's at. I was actually in Arizona this weekend, and I have a buddy out there, Bo Campbell. Guy can absolutely two-step with the best of them. He's throwing women around. There's no gravity when it comes to that man dancing. It's outstanding.
Jealous.
Got
Very
way too
jealous.
drunk. I had
Yeah.
no idea. It was one of those little sipper deals, and it turned on me real fast.
Yeah.
It's not about me. This is about you. Uh,
No, let's keep going.
yeah, let's
talk
keep
about you.
let's keep the train. No, let's
Where'd
not.
you go to high school?
I
go to
went to
college?
Chaparral High School. I went to Michigan, but you went to high school and you didn't just play football.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball player too.
Yep.
Was there ever a point in your life where you're like, I want to do basketball instead of football?
Oh yeah. Early on, I
Mhm.
would say. I would say basketball is probably my first love. Watching
Really?
Kobe growing up.
The man.
My dad, a huge Lakers fan, obviously turned me into a Lakers fan as well. Even when the Lakers weren't winning a ton,
Mhm.
he was so fun to watch. I mean, just, it could be middle of the season, regular season game, and he'd be going all out. Like they could be losing by 20 and he'd be playing in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. It was just like, and I didn't even really recognize that
Mhm.
as a young kid.
Yeah,
You
but
know what I
as you
mean?
get older, you appreciate it way more, huh?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So it was just, yeah, didn't even realize it at the time, but he was such an inspiration for me, and I'm sure a lot of other kids. But
100%.
it was fun to watch, grow up and watch that, and so that's kind of how I fell in love with basketball, and then, just ended up loving it, and then started to get into football a little bit later on, like third grade, and I played basketball, football, and baseball. Those are like the three that I just rotated around.
Yeah.
throughout my childhood growing up and really throughout until freshman year of high school. And then played basketball up until my senior year of high school. And that was the last year I played basketball. So
You didn't do any pickups at USC or anything like that?
we did.
Yeah.
We did, yeah. But
Go to the
nothing,
rec
nothing
center or whatever,
organized.
dunk on some little nerds.
Nothing
try to get a little
organized.
workout in.
100%, yeah. Off-season grind.
Yeah, no
All the
question.
boys, yeah.
I was
so
a terrible. I cannot play basketball at all, but all the boys would go out there, hang out, and play basketball.
You
I'd
could
sit
post
there.
up, though.
Yeah, I'll get no easy buckets.
Yeah.
No easy
Jackie
buckets with
Moon.
me. Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Pass it back and forth over and
Yes.
over again.
Yep.
Invent the alley oop.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. You would throw it, though. You're not dunking, though. Or,
No, I used to be able to dunk. I don't know if I can dunk anymore. The boy had a 30 and a half.
Okay.
You know, that little vert was kind of nice.
Yeah.
For a
That's
big
higher than
kid.
mine.
It was just like 25, 26.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at it on the Wikipedia page.
I'm a one foot jumper.
We ran the
one
same
leg.
40 as well.
Did we?
Yes.
Good. Yeah. Well, you know.
in the beginning of this whole thing.
Well, you know what was the 10? What was the split? I think that's what matters.
164.
Yeah, probably faster than me too. So
But you don't got to run that fast.
heck
You
no.
kind of got wheels though. You like Pat Mahomes. You guys can get around a little
speed?
bit. Yeah, yeah, game speed type
yeah,
of deal.
yeah.
And so when you went to USC, you were going there to play linebacker.
No,
They wanted you to play linebacker at first.
so I got recruited. So there were some O linemen. I don't know if you know the name Kyle Murphy or Josh Garnett.
I don't know those names. No.
So they went to Stanford, played lineman. He was a left tackle at Stanford. But they went to my high school. Kyle Murphy went to my high school, not Josh. But and then Sean Harlow. Do you know that name at all? Plays for
No.
the Falcons. He
Sean
went to Oregon
Harlow.
State.
Do we know the name back there, boys? If it's not 49ers, Bloss ain't
But-
gonna know.
Yeah, he was, both really good prospects out of same high school. So we had some, Pac-12 schools that would come around and they recruited me. But at the time I was playing linebacker and receiver my sophomore year. And I remember Ogeron had like one of the little film cameras.
Yeah.
And he was like filming me doing linebacker drills. And I was like, I thought this guy was here for, the seniors who are getting recruited to play at SC. And he was just like, no, like I want to film this dude Darnold. Like he looks like he's got some athletic ability. And I was like a $190 at the time.
Grow into it.
Same height. I was tall early on, but I was a skinny little linebacker who would just get tossed around by left tackles in our league. But I was playing like 3-4, like Will at the time. So I was like kind of on the line of scrimmage,
Yeah.
trying to fight off tight ends and tackles when they were trying to run block. So that was fun at 190.
Yeah.
And there were kids there were like tackles and guards that were pushing 300 in our league.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. California's got good ball out there. A lot of people like to shit on California, but it's kind of
Yeah.
a deal.
People do like to shit on California.
Yeah.
A lot of people in this bus actually.
Oh,
like to shit
really?
on California. Yeah.
Who's that? Who is that? We want to point fingers?
No, we're not pointing fingers.
But it's in this. Is it in this
yeah.
general area? Or is it in this general area?
No, it's in this general area.
Oh, T?
Yeah. We'll leave him out of it.
Yeah, fair enough. T with 3 letters. Shit on California ball. It's like a top five state. You got to think.
He just talks a lot about SEC and
Yeah. Where you from, T?
how it means a little bit more.
Oh, you're from here? You're a Vols guy? Got to respect the Vols. Their fan base is out of control. Their
Hey.
fan base is insane. Michigan beat the Vols in basketball to go to the Sweet 16. And I put out one tweet of Juwan Howard slapping the T. And holy shit. Now, obviously, most of my followers are Tennessee fans living in Tennessee. But it was a bloodbath. They remind me of the Buffalo Bills. That Bills Mafia. You got that T Mafia out there. But California dudes, they rip now. California, Ohio, Georgia, Alabama, Florida. Is that the top 5? Oh, Pennsylvania too. That's another one. You can't sleep on that too.
Yeah, Louisiana too.
Louisiana's like that?
Yeah.
I don't even know that.
That's recent though. That's pretty recent.
So when Ogeron came and had this little camcorder on you, filming you up, you're a $190. Did you think to yourself, oh, I'm going to the league now?
No, I had no idea. Dude, I didn't really know what a scholarship offer was until I got offered my first one.
Who was your first offer?
University of Utah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Utes.
Utes, dude.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they offered me after my sophomore year. I played like 2 games at the end of the season at quarterback because the starter got hurt, and they offered me based on some tape that they saw of those 2 games, and then of like some drills that I did for him during the spring.
No shit.
Crazy, yeah. And so he offered me the scholarship. He was like, "Hey, man, like we want to offer you a scholarship to play football at the University of Utah." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
At quarterback after 2 games.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. didn't really knew like what it entailed or like,
Mhm.
he was like, you pretty excited about it? Or you just, and I was just very like kind of monotone, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very excited. Thank you, coach. Like, can't wait to, continue talking to you, whatever. And he goes and tells my parents like right after that. And I just see my mom melt. She's just
Starts crying.
Yeah, everywhere. And I'm just like, I think this is a little bit bigger deal than I thought.
Right.
And so they're like, yeah, like my dad kind of explained it to me in the head coach.
Mhm.
He was just like, dude, you're gonna get offered like full tuition to go to the school just to play ball and like potentially have a chance at going to the league.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
And so I don't know. I think it was kind of cool to, live my entire kind of childhood and my high school life, not really knowing what, I was necessarily going for. I
Mhm.
wasn't ever trying to get an offer, but it just happened. And
So when you were growing up playing ball, you never thought, oh, I'm going to be an NFL football player someday, or I'm going to be an NBA basketball player or an MLB?
no, I always dreamed of playing in professional sports,
Yeah.
doing something, but I didn't know necessarily kind of the steps to get there.
Mhm.
I was just like, oh, I want to play professional ball, do something. And so I was just like, dang, like, I guess the next step would be college
Yeah.
after high school, right?
Right. Yeah. That's
So
usually football is like just a singular line
very
trajectory of where you're going to go.
linear.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, so I got offered and I was, after they kind of, told me what it was and what was going on, then they told me. They're just like, I was just, so happy about, the situation. And it's funny, like once you get that first offer, I mean, you know how it is. It just
Starts
rolls.
rolling in.
Yeah.
And you got one your sophomore year.
hmm
That's kind of, is that abnormal? One guy, that dude from Michigan, he got one in 8th grade, which is kind of wild. Do you have any kids at your school that were getting offers like that?
Yeah. I mean,
So you're
not
squad.
in my high school. But obviously, you got guys in, like David Sills, who now plays receiver, I think, for the Giants. He played at West Virginia, I believe. And he was like one of the top recruited kids in California to play quarterback,
Mhm.
and ended up getting offered in 7th grade, I believe, by like Lane Kiffin at
Oh,
SC.
shit.
Yeah. And it was insane.
Kid has
And,
zero pubic hair on his body, and
Yeah.
they're just going to all of a sudden
right.
give him an
I
offer.
mean, hey, that's, he might have,
He might have.
you know.
Some 7th graders did.
Yeah.
Luke Stedman, when I was in middle school, kid was a hoss. He had a receding hairline at 12 years old. It was unbelievable. So you get the Utes. And so you're kind of like, hey, I guess I'm just going to college now. This is going to happen. What happened after that? Who were the next ones to fall in line?
Shoot, it was kind of other Pac-12 schools.
And you didn't start playing quarterback till your junior year?
Yeah, like full time. So yeah, kind of that off season.
Yeah.
Sophomore going into junior year, I started playing more quarterback. But yeah, man, it was just Pac-12 schools. A couple, I think it was just Tennessee, honestly, who offered me. And then
Smart move, huh?
And then and then it was like Big Ten, like Penn State, some other ones. But
Did you get Michigan?
I didn't. It's funny. Right when Harbaugh got the Michigan job, he called me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was kind of pitching, and I was just like, hey, like I've committed to USC. Like this was after, like right when I was about to start my senior year. And I was like, listen, like I made a commitment to go to SC. Like I appreciate you reaching out. But so yeah, he did reach out and, assumed that he would have probably offered me, but I didn't even let him get that far. I was just like, I'm going to SC.
A loyal cat, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, I grew up an SC fan.
Yeah. I mean, you grew up with Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, those
Yeah,
dudes
like
out there
that was
slaying it.
Primetime SC ball, and
Yeah.
I was, that was my childhood. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
And Pete Carroll was the dude too. Man,
yeah,
he played SC perfectly. Did all the stuff he needed to do, and then dipped right when the
celebrities
sanctions
in.
were. Yes.
Yeah,
Will Ferrell coming in doing practice. Did you guys have anything like that at
he
SC?
did it right. We never did, dude.
God. Who were your coaches at SC?
So I was with Sark. I was with Sark for about a year and a half, and then Clay took over as the interim, and then I ended up getting the job after that first year, where we had a pretty good year.
That's
That
awesome.
year. Yeah.
So when you were coming out, as soon as you got offered by the Utes, you're like, I want to go to SC. The whole time you're like, I want to go to SC.
Well, I always wanted to go to SC.
Yeah.
I
So
always
when they
wanted to play
offered, it
ball
was
there.
done deal.
Yeah, it was because they offered late too. Like
Mhm.
I actually went on some unofficial visits. I went to Duke, Northwestern, and then I went to Oregon.
Why'd you go to Duke? Why'd you go to Northwestern?
I wanted to, right? I
Smart, yeah,
I just
smart
wanted to-
kid.
no, I'm not actually.
Well, Duke's a good school, right?
I thought I was, but no, Duke's a great school. Northwestern too, but I really liked Fitz, who's the coach at Northwestern.
He's a
And then
great
I
dude.
like Cutcliffe a lot, just knowing his background with the Mannings and stuff. I was
Mhm.
like, I want to get to know this guy and potentially play for him. I think it'd be sick.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my mindset with that. And then went to Oregon after that. So I went Duke, Northwestern, Oregon, and then I came back down to do a camp like last minute at SC.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a middle school camp going on, and then I was thrown in the mix because Sark wanted to see me throw in person. He'd never seen me throw in person. So I threw for him. I probably like 50 balls, just kind of warming up, and then on the run, just really like low key workout. And then he took me in his office and offered me on the spot there. And I thought about it. I made the whole list, pros and cons, where I wanted to go, top 3 schools, and that was once I made the pros and cons list, I was like, pros for SC,
Yeah.
and then there were no cons.
Yeah, it was over for you,
I was
huh?
like, okay, yeah, this is pretty easy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Parents can see me play. Great education, great ball. Grew up a fan.
Grew up in San Clemente, right?
Yeah.
Outstanding town if you've ever been to San Clemente. God, what a beach
Been?
town. I have been. I was like 15, 16. I had a girlfriend who was pretty rich. So we'd go out there in the summertime. It was
Good
a
move.
nice deal. Oh, yeah.
Good move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Smart, big family, Italian girl.
There you go.
She was awesome. Shout out Laura Shockley. But we would go to San Clemente all the time.
Awesome.
Yeah. We go to San Clemente. It was
She's like,
awesome.
This motherfucker.
Yeah, she hates my guts probably now. Shout out. Hey, Laura. Good to see you.
My name.
Out your motherfucking. Yeah. How do you feel about that? What side are you on with Chris Rock and Will Smith?
I'm
What a
sorry I
weird
brought it
pivot.
up. Yeah. Funny. Yeah. No, I mean, you can't hit anyone.
Yeah. So you're on the Chris
Straight up.
Rock side.
Yeah. And it was a joke.
Mhm.
But, whether the joke was bad taste or not,
Mhm.
you can't go up and smack someone
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. We talked about it on the podcast last week, and it kind of seemed like it's alopecia, right? I don't want to get that wrong
It
because
is.
I feel like it's insecure. What did I say call it last week? Propecia,
Propecia.
which is like the save the hair thing. And I just think that, I don't know, it depends. Like there's a lot of women, Jada included, who look beautiful
Right.
with the shaved head. I
Sure.
had no issue with it. And I think anything's fair with comedy when it comes to stand up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you're white saying the N-word. That's
Sure.
probably a big no-no,
Yeah,
right?
that
Probably
probably
shouldn't.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't go down that road. Other than that,
Yeah.
I think you're pretty fair
Other
game.
than that, there might be another couple,
Yeah.
but
Anything off the top of your head you're thinking of, you probably shouldn't touch?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But no, that was, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if he knew that she had it, or I
Mhm.
don't even know if it was his joke. That's the other thing is like, did he
Yeah.
write it himself? He didn't, right? I mean, even then, he's got to take responsibility because he said it.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, but at the end of the day, it's a joke, and Chris Rock's there and you got to know if you're at the Oscars and you're sitting front row.
You're going to get roasted a little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah.
yeah.
And the thing too, when they showed Will Smith sitting there, he was like smiling, having a good time. Have you seen the whole clip?
And then he looks over.
Yeah.
hmm
Had to go defend her honor.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought his reaction was perfect though.
The way Chris Rock handled it.
He's like, "Wow,
What a
dude."
fucking
Yeah.
pro, dude. What a
He was
pro.
rattled though.
Oh, there's no question.
He was
Start
rattled.
saying documentary instead of Oscar. Like had a whole bunch of stuff going on. But I think all of us in here, if he slapped me, we've talked about this. You get slapped
Yeah,
by
what do
another
you
man.
do?
You like to think level of heads would prevail, but like, I mean, dude, getting poked in the chest in general, someone does something like just goes right up to your chest and pokes you, you kind of want to kill that person immediately, right?
Yeah.
So imagine getting open hand slapped.
Imagine if that just broke out into a huge fight.
I think Chris Rock would get his ass beat.
He would.
He would absolutely get his ass beat. Well, yeah,
He's probably gotten. I mean, listen, he's a stand-up comedian who's done a million shows.
right.
That's probably happened to him.
And the stand-up community, I don't think there are a bunch of tough guys in there. Like two off the top of the head, Schaub and Rogan are the two dudes that are probably going to beat some ass. And other than that, like you don't think, I mean, Chris Rock's tiny. He's 5'7",
Yeah,
54 years old or whatever he is. Absolute legend.
legend.
But he starts swinging. It would have made it. I mean, it would have been outstanding TV.
It
We would be talking for an hour longer.
He said it right when he landed the shot, and right
Mhm.
when he got back up to the mic, he was like, "This is the greatest night in television."
Yeah, hey, he did such a great job.
yeah.
Such a great job
It was
handling
very
it.
well. He handled it perfectly.
Yeah.
I thought. But yeah,
I think it would have been better if he just said, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth," and then it just was. That was it.
but then he just kept going. And
Yeah, it was
yeah.
a bad deal. And then he goes up and does that 2.5 minute speech. Were you watching it live?
I didn't watch it live.
Yeah,
but
I
saw
wasn't
the
either.
clips.
Yeah, I see the Twitter. and it's thriving. It's going off on there. And you immediately go to try to zoom in, find it. Shout out Japan. Japan had the whole thing for us.
Yeah, no, I don't know how fast it was after he slapped Chris Rock, but how quick was the turnaround with him winning the award and going up and giving the speech?
It was like 20 minutes, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so he's got to go up. He's talking about being a protector and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was his first Oscar as well. God. Hey, and then he just resigned from the Academy.
Yeah.
He just came out the other day and said, I'm going to resign, which I don't know what that means. Does that mean he's done acting? Or he's just no longer affiliated with the PA or whatever they are?
I don't know, dude.
He can't go to the Oscars? Yeah, I tell you, T's got the information. He just can't go to the award shows anymore. But he can still win stuff.
He's still good.
Yeah, he's Will Smith, dude. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
If anything, he probably just got another action movie.
Right.
Twerk on that. The hit movement?
Yeah.
Guy would be a hell of a golfer.
Yeah. 100%.
Hell of a golfer.
Hell of a quarterback.
We have stopped this podcast because we have yet another ad read for you guys. And if it's the boys that have a little bit of trouble in the bedroom, it's nice to perk them ears up, listen, because you're going to be able to do everything you want in there from the comfort of your own home. And that is with Roman. Look, no one's perfect. Even the best baseball players strike out with the bases loaded. The best golfers sometimes 3-putt with the tournament on the line. So if you feel like you come up a little short in the bedroom sometimes, it's perfectly okay. But if it's bothering you, there are options. Go to getroman.com/bussinboys. It's a little fun play because we want to be bussin' boys. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. That's right around the corner. You got issues, you can fix them real fast. The whole process is straightforward and discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to getbussin.com. Wait. Sorry. Whoops. Just go to getroman.com/bussinboys and complete an online visit. Take care of your ED without leaving the home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a doctor and take care of it. Call to action. Better listen up. Go to getroman.com/bussin to get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your own home. I know it seems a little redundant, but there's a lot of people out there, their mind space is left and right, little ADHD in your life. You're thinking 1 minute, you're not. You might miss the second one, you might miss the first one, and then all of a sudden you catch that third one. And we're just trying to help the boys be boys, and that's bussin'. You know what I'm saying? You're just trying to bussin', you know what I'm saying? So make sure you do that. We love you to death. And I assume by you just watching this, you have a little feeling in your tummy too when you see us, a couple of butterflies sitting there. And if you do, go to YouTube, go to Twitter, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, go to whatever you want, including TikTok. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, and make sure you comment because the boys are here. We're going to be here for a while. 145 to the moon. Take us there because you're the only ones going to be able to do it. Subscribe, rate 5 stars. Back to Sam. So we go to SC. How do we do at SC? We redshirt our first year.
Yep. Yeah, redshirt the first year, which I knew I was going to do. So, you know how a lot of quarterbacks go early to school. So I didn't do that. I just went in the summer because I knew.
Smart. Hit prom.
Yeah.
Do it all.
Yeah. I played basketball, went to prom, did all the cool senior stuff to do, you know, because if I wouldn't have done that and then sat for a year, it's like, what am I doing?
Pros and cons.
You know, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, redshirted SC, sat behind Cody Kessler, and then quarterback competition. Started that next year with Max Brown. Was another, 5-star kid coming out. Had to sit for a few years to wait for his shot. And then, and then he ended up winning the competition. Ended up playing for 3 games, I believe. And then I started the 4th one. We lost that one. So we started 1 and 3. And then we didn't lose a game after that.
What was going through your mind when he won the competition? Because obviously you guys are going back and forth all camp.
Yeah,
when they tell you that, hey, you're not going to be the starter week 1?
Basically what coach said was just, we got to make the best decision for the team. And that was basically it. You know how it is. It was like we got to do what's best for the team. And what's best for the team is that Max starts for us.
Really?
And so it was very, very simple, which I respected because I was like, how am I going to argue with that? You know, the coach thinks that he's better than me and that he gives us the best chance to win. Like, do I disagree? Yes, obviously, but that wasn't, wasn't for me to say.
Yeah.
I just kind of took it and handled it how I handled it, and that was really it.
And so you weren't pissed off at all by that.
I will. So I'll go back a little bit. He did mention me getting a package for like red zone stuff and some stuff for me to like run the ball in the red zone and on third and fourth and short. And so that kind of got me a little irritated.
Mhm.
But I mean, everything that he said was spot on. I mean, he was like, he gives us the best chance to win, but at the same time, we envision you having like a red zone package and a third and fourth and one package. And so I was just like, yes, coach. Because I'm like a, 18, 19-year-old. I was just like, all right, sounds good.
Yeah, I was much more mouthy than that.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my redshirt freshman year, they told me I wasn't starting. I told the coach to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
But hey, that's how it works sometimes, you know?
I definitely said that in my head.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And I thought
Sometimes you
about
just gotta
it.
let them know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Things are
100%,
going your
yeah.
way, you gotta say, fuck you.
100%.
That's the way the deal works sometimes. So the first 3 games go on.
Yeah.
And then what happens to this guy?
Um,
He gets hurt, right?
no, he just got benched.
Just shitty. Throwing in INTs left and right.
So I'm still friends with him to this day. Max
Yeah,
is a great
I'm sure he's a
dude.
great guy
Yeah.
to shit on him. Yeah, I'm sure he's a great guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, I had to say that, but no, he is. He really is. Yeah, that was probably the weirdest part, to be honest, because we were boys my freshman year, because he was kind of showing me the ropes, and when I was going out at SC, we were kind of hanging out, and he was taking me to parties, doing all that stuff,
Mhm.
big brother stuff, and then all of a sudden we're in a competition together, and it was like, all right, I guess that's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
we're not doing any of that stuff anymore.
Not
but
partying together anymore, nothing like
yeah,
that.
so that was kind of the weird part, because I was, we had the same friend group, boys with, everyone on the team, and then some of the kids outside of football as well. But, it's just part of the deal. And yeah, so I thought the way that he handled it was insane, though, just perfect. The way that he never even said anything in the media about me or anything. He handled it like a pro.
Just
So.
supported you.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. I love
Yeah.
that. When so you play those games, and then you go on. Then you play the next year. You guys win the Pac-12 championship, correct?
Yes.
Win the Pac-12 championship, and then we get to the 2018
Mhm.
draft. And there's kind of the 3 guys that everyone's talking about: Baker Mayfield, you, and Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
And now you and Baker. Well, Baker's pretty outspoken too, but you seem like a guy kind of like keep to himself, don't say a whole lot,
Yeah.
don't read a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What are you thinking when you see Josh Rosen saying some outlandish shit going to UCLA?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It makes life harder.
Yeah. But why
Yeah.
why does it make it harder on you?
What do you mean?
You said it makes life harder.
For him?
Oh, yes.
That's why I don't, I choose not to. And like, honestly, like I wouldn't, I don't know, just not in me to like do stuff like that.
Mhm.
And now I do have, I have great friends and a great circle, great family that, if there's some shit that I got to get off my chest, like, yeah, everyone has it. You know what I mean? But going through the media and making a scene about it, that's, it's just harder to live life that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it makes it a little bit more fun sometimes. You could argue.
It's fun if you do well,
Right.
right? But if you're the 10th overall pick getting traded the next year, and then
Doesn't age
things
well.
have happened the way it's happened to him,
Right.
yeah, it's not a good deal. And same for Baker too. He seems like he's in a bit of a deal right now. So of all 3 of those quarterbacks, you're doing the best.
Yeah.
You're doing
Some
well.
would argue.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. So Baker's got to find himself a new home.
Yeah.
What did you think about him when he came out with like a see you later letter to the Browns, even before they got Deshaun Watson?
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough deal, right? Because you got, people that you think are loyal to you in
Mhm.
terms of, whatever it is in his circle at the Browns, coaches, owner, GM, whatever it is for him, saying that they're, he's their guy, all this stuff, all the promises that they make. And then all of a sudden there's rumors going out, not necessarily rumors, but, factual, information out that, they're looking to potentially get Deshaun Watson. And, that might hit to the core a little bit for him.
Yeah.
And so that's, again, it's not for me to really comment a ton on, because I
Mhm.
don't, I'm
Yeah.
not in his shoes. I don't know what's going on in Cleveland, but yeah, it's a tough deal, man.
Yeah.
But as you know, it's cutthroat business.
Yeah,
too.
100%.
I mean, not to get corny, but it is.
Yeah. And you go third overall to the Jets. And was Adam Gase the coach then, or was that the year after?
No, he was. So Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles was the coach.
Todd Bowles was our head coach in 2019 season. And then, love Todd, and McCagnon was our GM, and they were the ones who drafted me, took me in. And then that next year, Bowles gets fired. They bring in Adam Gase, and McCagnon's still the GM. And then the next year, they bring in Joe Douglas as the GM with Adam Gase as the head coach. And
so hey, you hear all that stuff. Adam Gase is the dude that does like the weird eye thing, right? When he's getting
his interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, was he just a crazy person, or what was the
No,
deal?
Adam's great.
You loved him.
Great dude.
Yeah.
I love Adam.
Because I was watching some stuff, and I was watching a YouTube video of like the Patriots game. Obviously a tough one out there.
Sure.
And then I was watching stuff after. They're like, Adam Gase didn't do anything to help you. They didn't do slide protections, no like 7-man pros, no checkdowns, none of that stuff. What was going on during that game where did he come and say anything to you or anything like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we just watched the tape. We talked about some stuff, and there were definitely some things where I could have done a lot more with the protection to help me out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just, for lack of a better term, it was a cluster, out on the field and trying to, because Bill and that whole tree, Flores, Patricia, all those guys, if you can't figure out there's zero pressure and you don't have an answer, they're going to keep bringing it. Yeah,
when they bring 7 up, you think they're bringing 0.
Yeah.
And so you think you have to get the ball out real fast. Then all of a sudden they drop and they're only rushing 3 or 4.
Well, yeah.
And then the next time they bring them all.
And then the one guy that rushes is the guy that you slide away from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, there's good ways to handle it, and there's bad ways to handle it. And, we didn't handle it the best that you could have.
When you say that was stuff you could have done for protection,
yeah,
was it like a development thing for you where you didn't know protection very well?
I think it was just kind of getting things lined up to start, and then understanding, okay, I have 5 seconds on the play clock. Like one of those, like, damn, like, I was trying to figure stuff out with the receivers, like trying to give them signals. And I think it was more just we should have been more in and out of the huddle than we were that game. I think that was really the biggest issue. And then we started going on the ball, and that helped a little bit. But I mean, yeah, we didn't have great answers for it.
Is there anything you said to the guys like, hey, we gotta get to the line faster so I can kind of dissect this thing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was one of the first things I said. And then we started going no huddle, which I did quite a bit of with Adam, which, he did a lot of with Peyton in Denver. And so that was kind of the go-to. If we were kind of struggling or in a rut, we would go to the no huddle stuff and try to get on the ball and create some tempo for us. But then again, like, you start to go tempo and you go 3 and out, puts the defense in a shitty position.
Real bad position.
So
another thing about tempo too is when you go tempo or a 2-minute type of situation, it usually vanillas down the defense quite a bit.
Right.
Because they have to get ready, they have to get lined up. They don't have time to make those.
Yeah. So they were just
blitzes.
bringing 0 the whole time. Yeah. That was
really putting the fucking pressure on you.
That was when we started going no huddle. They were like, all right, we'll just keep calling it.
Yeah.
And it was just a tough day.
And you had the unanimous thing saying you're seeing ghosts out there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, like, hey, that's a tough meme.
Yeah, it is. No, it's a tough thing to handle, to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But
so when all that stuff's cycling, what are you thinking about that?
It's interesting because, like, in our room, in a quarterback room, we would see guys kind of like in the pocket. You have some quarterbacks flinch a little bit. We would say, oh, they're seeing ghosts out there. And so, like, I just like said that to my coach at the time, when we were down 40-0.
Yeah.
Because I was just pissed and didn't know what to say, to be honest. And it happened, and they got it on live TV.
So were you mic'd up? Who was mic'd up?
I was mic'd up.
Oh, you fucked up.
Yeah.
That's on you. I was hoping it'd be like a coach or something like that, but you sold yourself out.
No, it's for sure on me. I'll take that one to the grave.
For sure on me.
I'll take that one to the grave, no doubt.
Dude, that's got to be a tough deal. But hey, listen, everyone has bad games.
It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And listen, that was the worst game by far that I've ever played in my life. And but I own up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to own up to it. But that week after, like, you play Sunday, and then Monday you're just like, fuck my life.
No, it was Monday night. So Tuesday morning.
Yeah, Tuesday morning. Thank God it's a short week, though. Yeah,
Right?
one less week
Gotta
to
move on.
stew on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Because that stuff, man, when you have one of those games, like we talk about all the time, week one, you kind of sit there and we played at noon on Sunday. So I had the full week to think about, I'm just a piece of shit now, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm garbage out here.
Yep. And then pay attention to the media and
Oh, hey, listen,
they
that's
start
tough.
saying, oh, you suck, dude.
Yeah.
You should try to go find a different profession.
It's bad. And then people on
then you're
Twitter
like,
too are just
should I?
wild. Yeah, should I do something different?
Maybe they're right.
Yeah. It's just crazy how people want to manipulate things. And if you go one bad game or something happens, especially being at quarterback, I
Part
feel
of the
like
deal, dude.
it's part of the deal. But at quarterback, you live and die with the franchise. Like if things are going well, it's like, wow, this dude's a stud, but look how great the defense is. Look how good wide receivers are. But when things aren't good, they're like, it's Sam. It's his fault. It's the quarterback's fault. Does that seem fair to you to have all that kind of pressure all the time for quarterbacks in general, not just for you?
I think it is for sure.
Why is that?
The money. I mean,
That's
the money
true,
that's, there's,
And a $30 million deal, 20 years, what time, 20 million signing bonus?
it was something like that.
Yeah. You know exactly what it was. Don't do that. Don't do that, dude.
But no, but it's again like I'm half joking about the money thing,
Mhm.
but you get ready all week and there's a reason that the franchise lives and dies with the quarterback.
Yeah.
Because you're the one out there, you got the ball in your hand every single play, and it really has become more and more as the game keeps progressing. It's becoming more and more of a quarterback league, and it's great. I think it's great for the game. Like when numbers are going up, passing statistics are going up. I think it's great TV, for people to watch and all that. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it. But I really do think some of it's not warranted. Don't get me wrong. There's some stuff that people say that's,
Yeah, people playing that keyboard coach.
100%.
I think they know exactly what's going on. They really have no idea.
Yeah. So that part's tough. And then, there's some times where like some guy gets it like spot on.
Mhm.
He's like the keyboard coach and he's like, dude, should have seen this like to the left. You should have slid it to the left and got the back out. You're like, dang, dude, he's right.
Yeah, I should have done that.
Yeah.
That's so funny, dude.
But no, it rarely happens. But yeah, man, it's part of the deal.
Mhm. Do you do a lot of mental work at all during the off season or anything like that?
I started to a little bit a couple of years ago, just working with someone who, not even for football, it was just to kind of clear my mind. And then there's some, just some low key like meditation that I would do, like just by myself, like in the morning or at night before I go to bed, just clear my head. But
Do you use an app? Do you like the Calm app or something like that? Headspace?
Headspace a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah, I just mess with it a little bit.
Mhm.
If I feel like I need it, or if I feel like I'm, why am I feeling a certain way? Like, you know what I mean? So sometimes I feel like I need it more days than others. But I think all that stuff's great though. I think I don't think you can talk enough about mental health, and especially in the NFL.
Why do you think it's become such a thing lately? And in the last 3-4 years, it's really the mental health people have talked about it so much more than they have in the past.
Yeah, I just think there's so much more attention around things that wouldn't otherwise get attention because of social media. You have such more of a, you're just kind of a fly on the wall in anyone's life now. If you follow whoever it is, like Dak Prescott, talking about mental health, I think is great, because you look on Sundays and you look on the field and he's crushing it and you're like, dude, this guy makes, he's just killing life in general. Like he's throwing touchdowns. He's playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Like you almost feel like he's invincible. And then all of a sudden he comes out with, all these mental struggles that he's been dealing with. And, you don't realize it, but a lot of people deal with the same stuff, huge actors, bunch of different people.
Do you think that like the mental side of things has kind of been brought up more because so like you said, so many people have more access, and like a lot of these guys and like the old school dudes played 10, 20, 30 years ago, like this is so soft now, but they don't realize that it used to be a newspaper clipping and that would be your news and what happened in the game before, and you wouldn't see what everybody else is saying. But now at a click of a button, you can learn what everybody's thinking about you always.
Great point. Yeah, that's a great point. I think it is different. I think everything's just different.
Yeah.
I think now there are some times where I'm like, okay, that's pretty soft. Some of the things that would happen in terms of, guys, missing practice for one thing or the other. you know, I think there's a lot of like the basketball talk I think is very interesting. Like when you hear guys like Michael Jordan and Larry Bird criticizing guys for like missing games during the middle of the season. And, you know, I get some of that. But now, you know, you look at guys like LeBron who like to do that. And LeBron's in what, his 19th, 18th, 19th year?
That guy's he's a unicorn.
Like he's a freaking machine. And so when a guy like that sits out a game and gets a bunch of flack for it, I'm like, dude, you can't really give him shit for missing a game.
Yeah.
You know, look at what he's done with his career. Look how he literally brought Cleveland up from nothing.
He brought Cleveland up from nothing. And then also like Michael Jordan, everybody watched the documentary, The Last Dance. And he would, you know, have a couple beers before a game, eat a pizza, and that's
like a round of golf.
Yeah, he'll play a round of golf the day before a game.
Can you imagine playing a round of golf the day before a game?
I can't imagine playing a round of golf in general in my life. Yeah, that's a hard-ass sport. Play 18 holes? I mean, I can't do it. I know there's a couple guys in the back.
4 hours.
Dude, I'm out there. I play 3 holes, and I sit in the cart, and I'm like, I can't do this. Drink some Whistle Pig, and I just move on. But
there you go. There's the plug.
You gotta plug it a little bit, too. I haven't even talked about the Chevy Silverado, the most durable, reliable vehicle. But with Michael, dude, it just seemed like as things have advanced more in science and how the body works and all the things you can do for your body now, I think in basketball, you play so many games. For LeBron, especially at his age too, to take a couple games, sit and not play. I mean, I think that's the move. Now, you would argue that people pay good money. They work super hard to come and see LeBron, come and see Kobe, come and see those dudes. Rest in peace, Kobe. But come and see these guys. But at the same time, like the whole goal when you play a sport is to win whatever it is at the end, whether it's a Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, all that stuff. And so I think that's a smart move by him to be able to do that.
Yeah. Did you see that thing with Eric Church going to the UNC game?
Yes, dude. Oh my God. What do you think about that? He just dipped in the squad.
He did. But at the same time,
How was it not for the boys move? A huge Eric Church fan too.
He refunded the tickets though of everyone that went. Now they were complaining about flights and
hotels
and stuff like that, which I get, but it's also it's his dream, you know, to go see a UNC Duke Final Four.
Yeah, and that was what's his name's last game too, right?
Coach K.
K. Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know. I don't know if I want to take a side, but I lean towards Eric Church just because like it might be part of your dream to go see Eric Church in concert, but it's literally his childhood dream to go watch UNC Duke play in the Final Four.
Yeah.
So like, where do you draw the line of like whose fault is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just to play devil's advocate, if you make a commitment to go do something and there's nothing restricting you other than a want, like you signed up for it. You signed up to be a quarterback in the NFL. So regardless of how you feel on Sunday, you're going to go out there and play. I signed up to be a left tackle. Sure. You know, if I just dipped? We're about to play the Ravens one day, and I'm like, hey, I love it, but this team's playing this team, and I really want to go see it. Hey, it's my brother's birthday. Yeah. And that shit doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, big Michigan-Ohio State game this weekend, guys. I'm not going to be able to go to the walkthrough.
Third week in November, I can't play. Hopefully the bye week's then.
Yeah.
It's like, it just doesn't work that way, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, Eric Church, especially in the country music world, he's a legend. Like, I love his music. I think he has 3 or 4 albums that just absolutely slay. But I don't know if that's like I don't think it's the best move to go and do that. Now, he can do whatever he wants with his life. He's still going to go play that same venue probably a year later and sell it out. And it's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
He's just going to catch a little flack right now and move on.
Yeah.
It's tough, dude.
Yeah.
The Eric Church thing is wild.
Yeah. What do you think like the best way to like handle stuff like that is in terms of maybe not the Will Smith, but like Eric Church and like other things that come out about people like, do you think it's best to like post right away, or do you think you just kind of eat it and then kind of let time handle it?
So if you're Eric Church, like what would I say if I was Eric Church? I would get out in front of it like he did. And I think I'm a big get out in front of things guy. Yeah. I like to, if I fuck up something, if I do something wrong, I feel like I have to tell everybody around me because there's a part of me that has like this anxiety about if I know I did something wrong and everybody else here knows I did something wrong, there's like this barrier that like they're thinking it and I know it. So like, and we're not talking about it. For me, I'm like, I just got to talk about it to make sure like, this is what I was thinking. This is what happened. And then that's just how I am. I think you can go a lot of ways about it, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff I see where I'm like, why wouldn't someone just say it? Something like this right away. Like if, you know, your agent's speaking for you in a contract negotiation, like when I was doing my contract with John Robinson, I just went and spoke to him. And they're like, hey, you shouldn't go do that. You shouldn't go do X, Y. I'm like, I got to get up there and just see them face to face and be like, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? And then it takes the business side of it. And now you're having a personal conversation. Yeah. I mean,
A ton.
I like to think so. I'm still here, you know, so things are going all right.
Yeah.
But what would you do? Would you
No,
let
I'm
everybody else
with you.
handle it? Yeah. You
No,
like
I'm
that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's definitely the move, dude. Should we do that tier talk now? Because I know we have to do two. So we have two segments. There's the locker room talk and the tier talk, which is kind of redundant. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Top 5 stadiums he's ever played in. Top 5 wide receivers he's ever played with.
God, that's tough. Well, I guess I'll give you that. What do you want to do?
Stuff.
We'll definitely need some top 5 QBs to ever play at USC.
I'll do that.
We'll
for
do
sure.
that. Okay. So
I could do. I mean, yeah.
we have officially interrupted this podcast for yet another ad read. And this is a special one to us. One of our presenting sponsors, we got Whistle Pig. It's a beautiful whiskey, but if you're not just a whiskey person, you want a little extra something, a little extra taste, I got a little something for you. This piggyback barrel aged craft cocktail in a can is so much better than a seltzer. It's crisp and refreshing, but super bold and flavorful. I don't think there's anything I don't think there's anything like this out there. It's so refreshing, bold, and balanced. Whistle Pig takes on a flavorful seltzer. Why? I just read this. Whistle Pig's take on a more flavorful seltzer. Wow, boys. Tough. And it's 8%. Sign me up. The fruit in it is barrel aged in whiskey barrels, giving it those whiskey notes. Now, I'm a big whiskey guy, but this is going to be my go-to for tailgates. Never been to one, but that's okay. Someday when I do go to a tailgate, I'm going to have it. Out on the boat for a bonfire, honestly, it's perfect for any kickback type of outing. We said this last time. Kickback's a cool new term that all the kids are using for partying. We have an exciting promo from our friends at Whistle Pig. Use code BUSSIN22 to receive 10% off your order at cans.whiskeypigwhiskey.com. My favorite, to be totally honest with you, is the blackberry lemon fizz. You put that thing on some ice, you sit that thing down, you put 2 or 3, and guess what? You're feeling great, right? Those boring shows you're watching on anything else other than Bussin' With The Boys, it's going to make you a little more interested. You're going to have a little more fun. Guess what? You're going to be a little more confident and you're going to have a great time. Use code BUSSIN22 to receive 10% off your order at cans.whiskeypigwhiskey.com. Hey, that was tough. Oh, I actually forgot to tell everybody about the big news. Not only can you do that, but if you want, you can go right here and you can subscribe. And then you can unsubscribe and resubscribe. It's so redundant. It's so annoying. You're trying to skip over this right now, but we broke the button so you can't do it. It's because 70% of you are out there not doing it. You're just watching it, enjoying it. And we love that. But come join the bus, baby, all right? You can add a little tier 3 in your life. Those tier 2s go. Now, becoming a tier 1's crazy. We talk about it in the pod. Guy gets a tattoo on his leg. Holy Christ, right? That's a tier 1 cat. We love him. We should probably send him some merch. He's outstanding. Maybe do a little giveaway also. I don't know why I just said that because it's also on the top of my head. But subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Enjoy what we're giving you, okay? Because we're doing our damnedest, and we love you to death. The way Bussin' With The Boys work is we have tiers. So tier 1's the diehard cats on our podcast, the ones that get tattoos. You guys see the guy who got a tattoo on his thigh?
No way.
He had a bee with the horns and everything. I love to if we could put up his little name in that picture in this video.
Does this guy have a lot of tats?
It was a bare leg. It looked like a bare leg. Outstanding
That's
tattoo though. He had a
respect,
great tattoo artist.
It's different if you're like tatted up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
if
get
you're
like
gunned, you can kind of just do whatever.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want.
100%. Yeah, no one's gonna see anything.
Right. So he would be qualified as a tier 1 guy. Tier 2's like you follow, you comment, you subscribe, you rate 5 stars.
Okay.
Those types of things. And then tier 3 are the people that kind of sit in the background. And then you see like a friend or something like that. Like, hey, I heard you're doing pretty good. Oh, hey, the podcast is doing all right. That type of thing.
Yeah.
That's a tier 3 guy.
Got it.
So on these tier talk options, you have to give me your top 5 quarterbacks. So I guess we're doing 5 tiers today, boys.
Okay.
In
order?
In order of who you want. Hit the names. You can talk about them if you want. You don't have to talk. You can just hit us right away. But I need your tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of these names on the board.
Yep. Can the audience see who's on the board?
We'll put it up for them.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Boss is a whiz back there.
Yeah.
See a couple names coming out right now.
I'd go Carson 1.
Carson 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer. Why Carson Palmer?
I think he won a Heisman at
That's fair.
SC,
That's a fair
won a
statement.
national championship.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Good.
He had, for a lot of people that don't know, he actually had a great career. Had some injuries that he's dealt with and, kind of handled it, I think, very professionally. Could have thrown some people under the bus too in terms of what happened in his career,
Mhm.
in terms of some different things with some certain teams. But I think he handled it like a pro, and I just respect him a ton. And he's a baller.
Yeah.
Then I'll go Leinart.
Liner at tier 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, Liner's a stud, man. We said before, him and Reggie Bush, that little duo they had,
it was unreal.
unreal.
It was the sickest thing to grow up and watch them play football.
Yeah.
What
about that name above Matt Leinart? What do you think about that one?
No, I don't recognize it.
No?
No.
No, me either.
So I know this is tough because I know Mark and Matt Sanchez and Barkley.
Yeah.
So I hope they're listening right here and we can have a little argument.
Mark's
about it.
much more handsome than Matt.
Yeah, that's debatable as well.
You think so?
It just depends. If you're into,
Blondes or
the
brunettes?
Latino,
Yeah.
and- yeah, exactly. That whole thing that Mark has going on. Maddie. Oh,
Big NFT guy, Matt.
big NFT Bitcoin guy.
Loves the Bitcoin.
Shoot. I'm gonna go Mark. I'm gonna go Mark
Sanchez
over
at tier
Matt.
3.
Yep.
God, how does Matt feel about that? He follows the pod.
I know. I'm just gonna go Mark just because Matt did some great things at SC, but I think he would have won a natty with that team that wasn't allowed to win a natty
Mm-hmm.
because of the sanctions.
Shout out, Pete Carroll.
But yeah, Mark won the Rose Bowl and stuff. So Mark had a great career too. So Mark and then Matt, and then I'd go Rodney Pete.
You're not going to put yourself in that list.
Myself.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yourself.
Oh, Sam
yourself.
Darnold.
No, I said myself, but yourself. Sorry. Yourself.
No, no. I'm not gonna do that.
I don't even know who Rodney Pete is.
Rodney Pete, look up his highlights.
When did he play?
Sick player. I don't even know. But I've seen some of his highlights just being around SC.
You're just being too humble on this podcast
Yeah.
right now.
No, dude.
He played
Those
in
guys
the
are
80s.
ballers.
Oh, he played in the 80s?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Totally different game. Leather helmets and shit back then or whatever, dude.
He had a solid NFL career too.
I don't know.
It's tough, dude, because you didn't grow up with it and you don't know.
And doing these tiers too are difficult because you got to take away the NFL part because you just got to talk about college.
I know.
Because you think Mark Sanchez, you had the butt fumble, right? So
He did some other good things.
Well, I
too,
don't know. That's all I remember. That's all I know.
Yeah.
That thing lived on the not top 10 forever, right?
Yeah.
Months, years. I think it was retired. Look, dude, you can't even see the film on this thing. It's so grainy. This looks like NFL Blitz 2000.
That's Rodney Pete at quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. Looks like him.
That's a dime. I mean, you should have threw him in stride. Am I right?
It was a dime, dude. It was
So
a
you
dime.
put Rodney, some dude that played in the 80s. No offense to Rodney. I'm positive he doesn't watch this podcast, so it doesn't matter what I say. But
Hey, you never know.
you
dude.
never know exactly. But you're gonna put him over you. You're the 3rd overall pick in 2018.
Yeah, dude. Rodney Pete's a baller. Look at him.
I don't
We're
know.
also watching NFL highlights. If you go back to SC highlights, the way we're judging, I guess, the tier,
I want to go to USC so bad.
they were telling me before you got here.
Yeah, USC, Texas, or any SEC school besides Vanderbilt or Kentucky.
How does Michigan feel about that when you say stuff like
Well,
that?
I say when I was in high school. And then I had like an up and down deal with Michigan towards the end of my career there.
In terms of one of the boosters?
No, I
Any
never got
money, or-
paid. Never got paid. I'm sure you did. The Hollywood stuff. There's so
didn't.
much. You never got money.
Mm-mm.
You never got a
Never
free
once.
meal. You never went out to eat, and they're like, "Hey, go
No,
ahead." You're
never.
lying like a rug, dude. It's okay. We're out. You can't get in trouble anymore.
I actually never got paid,
Do you know guys on your team that did?
for sure.
Well, go ahead. What you got?
No, I got
Use names, social security
Heck
numbers.
no.
Let me hear the whole thing.
yeah, social security numbers.
Yeah.
I won't name any names, but I'll give social security numbers.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's there's lots of dudes. People get paid all the time. SEC, you know what I'm talking about over there, T?
Yeah. Hey, it means more.
Allegedly. You think Tennessee's paying dudes out there? Yeah. You know what I mean, dude. Yeah, that's right. The NIL thing. We'll do locker room talking a little bit because they said they want us to do this. All get cuts up too, so it's gonna sound way better. We'll do locker room talk in a second. So you get drafted to the Jets. What is that fan base like before you got traded?
Before I got so when I got drafted,
Yeah, when you got drafted, a couple years there. Yeah,
great.
They're love like that.
I mean, they'll let you know when you fuck up.
There's no question, but they just seem like they're like on par with the Eagles.
Yeah, no, it's a very, I mean, they're devotional fans, man. Like there would be games where our season's not going great, and the stadium was, I mean, pretty solid. It was fun to play in, loud. Dude, it was a great fan base, loyal,
loved them.
But yeah, things don't go well, and they'll let you know about it.
Yeah,
which I respect, honestly.
Yeah,
to your face though.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's true.
social
You're
media.
playing a little vanilla on me right now, and I know there's a little something behind it that probably pissed you off. Those Jets fans.
I mean, yeah. There's a lot that people would say stuff, and but again, like I said, like when you're in the social media world and people are talking so much shit online, you respect it so much more when people say it to your face.
Yeah, there's only been a handful of times someone says something to my face.
Right.
But Jets fans really do it like that.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's gotta be tough. You're going to a little deli out there, grabbing a sandwich, and some guys
there was a place. So I love this place in New Jersey. I'm not gonna say the name.
Okay, yeah, no free shout outs. I love that.
100%, yeah. And I don't live there anymore. So but no, great people. But there would be people all the people that go there are Jets fans. Like they have like the old school like 80s Letterman jacket. Like, I'm like, did you play for the Jets? They're like, nah, I'm just a big fan. And so they're
extra try hard
hats, like they're all the fireman ed guys. So no, but like great fans, but they would definitely be like, hey, what the fuck are we doing? Like, can we get the ball can we put Demaryius Thomas out there more often? Like when he catches the ball, he does something with it every time.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you're not wrong. Like I hear you, but he's dealing with some hamstring issues right now.
Right.
Like,
but they don't care about that at all.
No one knows about. You know what I mean? And so it's just stuff like that. But honestly, it's fun to have those conversations. You know what I mean? Because they're like critiquing like what we should do and strategy and stuff like that. The part that pisses me off is when people judge like my game, like how I'm playing. Then I'm like, hey bud, like go strap it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, you're a fan and I respect you being a fan and you can talk all the shit you want and I'm not going to do anything about it at the end of the day. But like, take it easy. Like what if I was like, hey, like the house you just worked on, piece of shit. Like, like, you're so bad at tiling. Like you should really go get another job. Really think about your profession.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you just want to say stuff like that, but you can't.
Why not?
I mean, yeah, I could.
Yeah,
I'm not going to.
No, I'm with you. I wouldn't say that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. It always sounds so good to think about because you're on that Twitter. You see somebody say something like,
yeah, like even now I feel like a coward. You know what I mean? Like, oh, damn, like
he said, now I feel like a coward.
Like that guy that's sitting here listening to that podcast, like that the Jets fans, like now I actually know what he wanted to say to me, but he didn't.
Yeah. Oh, there's an actual tiler out there.
No, I don't know.
Probably was
He's
carpenter.
Wearing, like, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that is a fucking tough deal when people talk shit like that. Because they think they can do it. You go out to a bar and people say something to you and they're like, hey, what?
Well,
why don't you guys do this instead? It's like, well, why aren't you the coach? Why are you doing this whole thing? Because they can't. Love the fans. I don't want to feel like I'm being harder than he is. Hey, you're being so nice. I feel like I'm being a little too much of an asshole right now.
Yeah, it's like when we were talking about Max earlier.
Yeah, I feel bad about that too. I owe him a written apology.
Yeah.
For just kind of shitting on him right away. You're like, oh, he's a great guy. I'm like, yeah, I bet he is.
Yeah, Max doesn't
just playing both sides of the fence on you. So when you started hearing trade rumors about everything, how did that process go for you? Like, did they tell you, hey, we're thinking about trading you? Did you hear it from the media first? What was that whole process like?
They were just like, hey, we got to figure some stuff out. When I was leaving, this is exit interview, like right after the season. So they don't know anything. They might know what they want to do, but they don't know exactly how they're going to do it. So they just tell me, hey, we're going to we're gonna look at, people in the draft and free agents, and like, we'll be in touch. And so right when they said that, I was like, okay, like it's a wrap. So
And how'd that make you feel when you heard all that?
I was just like, I think you guys are making a mistake, obviously.
You told him that?
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck yeah, dude. Nice work.
But like, at the end of the day, it's not, that's not my call. So if they don't think I'm the guy for them, then, it is what it is. But so I just kind of reached out to my agent. I was just like, hey, like, I'm not going to pay attention. I'm going to like not pay attention to social media at all. Just like, let me know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, if you want to like tell me rumors, like I'm fine with that. Like rumors that are real, not just like bullshit. So yeah. So I was just like, let me know if anything changes. And then got a call. I don't even know when, but I think it was a little bit before the draft. And they were like, yeah, or it was from my agent, first of all. Literally, it was crazy. So my agent calls me. He's like, hey, like the Panthers are trading for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come out here in a second. And like right as he's saying that, my phone rings. I get a call from Joe Douglas, the GM with the Jets. I was like, hey, like the GM's calling me. I got to pick this up real quick. And so Joe called me, and very respectful. Just told me straight up what the deal was. And I was like, all right, sounds good.
No thank yous, nothing. You're just like, all right, see ya.
No, he was like, hey, we appreciate everything you've done
Mhm.
for the organization ever since you've gotten here. But we're gonna, move in a different direction.
Yeah.
And
So
that was it.
when we were talking about how like we like to get in front of things, like when somebody knows something that you don't, or you know that somebody knows something, when you're going through that process, when you talk to the team and they say, hey, we'll let you know how everything goes.
Mm.
And then between that and before the draft, you get traded. How are you processing those
Yeah.
emotions of like wondering, because you're not looking at social media, but at the same time, there's stuff out there saying X, Y, and Z. Because I mean, it's a huge media market with the Jets. People talk about them all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, dude. Because like what are we doing? I mean,
I know.
I'm just kidding.
Fucking clown horn going off. I'm a very popular guy.
Yeah. I was joking, by the way.
I know you were. Don't worry. It's all good.
Taylor's like, I'm gonna kill this guy.
Yeah, he's like, fuck this dude, man. Get him out of here.
No, but it was weird because like, I have that conversation, the exit interview, and then I just go about, my business as usual. And I'm like, because they hired Robert Saleh, the new coach for the Jets,
Mhm.
and I'm talking to the OC like Michael Floor and Matt's brother, and then Greg Knapp,
Mhm.
God rest his soul. But I mean, we were in conversation for, up until I got traded, basically, about the
Yeah.
offense, what we're gonna do
And
that
so when
next year.
Yeah, so when they're calling you
Crazy.
talking about what they're gonna do, were you like, oh, I'm safe?
No, I mean, because I knew, like I said
Mm.
in the exit interview, I was like, okay, I feel like these guys are leaning, in a different direction. So I always knew that deep down, but, like anything I do, I was just like, I'm just gonna, put everything I got into learning this new offense. And if it works out, it doesn't, if it works out, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of my mindset going into it. I was like, I might as well like keep myself busy, learn the offense and work out and do all the normal things that I do. And, because the worst thing is like sitting on something,
Yeah, it
just
sucks.
sitting, waiting to see what happens. It's like, just keep yourself busy. That's how I kind of deal with stuff like that,
Mhm.
honestly.
Yeah, I'm a plow through right in the middle guy. I got to worry about and figure it out. I gotta know what the hell's going on in my life,
Yeah.
dude. But I
respect that too, though.
I respect what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Look at us back on the same page.
100%.
You insulted my phone and me, and now look at us. We're back
Yeah.
to being best friends again.
Just so popular.
I love it.
Can't
That's
handle
so popular. I have 3 text messages. I think they're all from my wife. So you get traded to the Panthers. The GM calls you and he says, "Hey, I appreciate everything you've done." Blah blah blah. What's the next? What is it like when you're getting traded? Like, what is that? How does that work? Do you go immediately to Carolina?
Yep.
To figure it all out.
Yep. So obviously talked to the GM, talked to Coach Rule, went to Carolina, met everyone. There were probably like 4 or 5 players that were actually there training.
Mhm.
But so met some of the guys, talked to some of the guys on social media, through text. Had a dinner with some of the guys as well, with like GM, owner, head coach, a few other players that were there that were in town during the off season. And I was just there for a couple days, did the whole media thing, sitting in front of the locker, putting the jersey on, and yeah. And I flew back home and started learning the offense.
Nice. And so you live in California in the off season? God, it's a beautiful time.
It's great.
Beautiful time being there.
It's great. Bought a place 4 years ago. Redid it through my first season while I was in New York, and then came back and been loving it for the last 3 years.
That's awesome. So this year you start off 3-0. Things are going great. You get injured week 9, correct?
Yeah, that's what it said. I honestly don't remember.
I think that's what it said. Yeah, we do have notes up here. Cam Newton comes in and takes a spot or whatever. Like, what was that process like with Cam coming back? And he scores a touchdown. I'm back, doing all that shit.
Right.
Is Cam as obnoxious as he seems?
Cam is the best.
I take it back. I think is he as awesome as he seems?
Best dude. No, honestly, I'm being dead serious.
He flexed so hard on us back in the day, dude. When he was when he was originally with the Panthers.
Yeah.
God, I think they won the Super Bowl or went to the Super Bowl that year. That was the year. I was on Wesley Woodyard and Avery Williamson. He was doing the dance, and then Avery came up and got in his face, and he did it to him again.
I know Avery, yeah.
God, yeah, Avery's a great dude. But ever since then, I was like, man, fuck that dude, Cam, man. Just flexing on everybody. Guy's got charisma like no one's ever seen.
Personality like you've never seen in your life.
So when you get injured and they bring Cam in, what's your thought?
I was just like, okay, like, see what the deal is. Like, this is like middle of the season. I'm just trying to get healthy, honestly, and I was just like, all right, like, and yeah, he was a great dude, great guy to have in the QB room, great guy to just have around in general, because his energy is unmatched. And then I come back and play, and he's a great guy, like I said, just a great guy to have at practice, great guy to have on your team. I literally have nothing bad to say about Cam.
Is he the way he seems on media always?
No.
He's not always that high energy?
No, I mean, there's, just like anyone else, he's just going to be quiet and like do his work and sit in the QB room, watch tape, take notes. He's going to like be in the training room with his headphones on and the hot tub headphones on, like just chilling with a towel around his neck. It's like he's a normal dude. But, when he gets out to practice, when he getting ready for games, and there's times, in the locker room and stuff where he gets very charismatic and very high energy, and it's awesome. But yeah, he's just a natural born leader.
Yeah.
He has that energy. And yeah, just the things that I've learned from him in terms of because he's dealt with a ton of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of ups and downs in his career, and the way that he's handled it and the way that he talks about how he's handled it. Just so much respect, and yeah, he's a great dude.
He was MVP one year, and then a couple years later, it's like it's not going the way he wants it to.
Oh, yeah.
And then he had trouble finding a job for a little bit. So to go through that kind of adversity, and he just seems like every time he gets on a team or does something, he's the same dude over and over again. You got to respect that.
Oh yeah,
got to respect that. So this year, I know you don't read a lot of stuff, but a lot of people are talking about whether the Panthers draft a guy, whether they were in the Deshaun Watson talk for a little bit of trading for the quarterback. Like, you obviously, like you say, you don't look at the social media stuff, which I'm not sure 100% believe yet.
No,
but
I see some stuff every now and then, but I really try not to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I try not to pay. It's just that I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, because it was, New York was on another level. So it was like, I kind of figured out how to handle it there. And I was like, kind of going back and forth, between my first year and my third year, it was like, I figured out how to best handle it for myself.
Yeah.
I was just not really paying attention to it. So that's how I've handled it. And I've kind of done the same thing this off season where like, I'm just trying to learn Coach McAdoo's system, and that's where I'm at.
Just
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
do you get nervous when the draft's coming up or anything like that with possibilities of them drafting a quarterback at 6 or?
It's just, dude, it's literally like.
This is a lot harder questions than I usually ask on this thing. I apologize.
No, this is good because to be honest, no one ever asked me these questions because they're, whether they're afraid or they don't want to bring it up, just a normal everyday conversation.
Yeah.
So no, this is truly like the first time I've ever answered questions like this. But dude, like honestly, whatever happens, I'm prepared for it.
Mhm.
And, you know, at the end of the day, someone's got to answer for it, whether it's, you know, whoever it is. So the GM, coach, whatever, if something happens like that, then it's like, all right, I'm going to see what they have to say. And that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but for me, it'd be like that'd be a tough thing to kind of to feel and knowing when you're a quarterback. Cause you know, like,
Well, it's the Baker thing. It's
the Baker thing. And it's understanding like trying to understand your thought process of like how you're not paying attention. You're just focused on what you're trying to do, which is be a great quarterback. The only issue is like, if they do draft a guy at 6, you know how the politics of the NFL work. You know, that guy from Liberty, whatever his name is. If let's say they draft him, you got to sit there and know that if you guys play well in camp, you might start the beginning, but at some point in time, the owner, the GM is going to start telling the head coach, we got to get our first round pick to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
and so that's gotta ruffle some feathers on the inside a little bit. It's got to be tough to think that. Like I'll give you an example. So in 2000,
little shot to the ego.
yeah, it is a
Sure.
shot to the ego. In 2016, we had the number 1 overall pick, and John Robinson was the new GM, and everybody all the analysts, the experts were saying that we need to draft a guy number 1 overall offensive tackle and move me to right tackle. And so at that point, I won't play right tackle. It's nothing against right tackles. It's just I'm a left tackle, and that's what I'm going to play. And if they say I have to play right tackle, I'm out of here. You know, that's just how I work. And so I meet with John a couple weeks. It's like the middle of April or something like that. And he's asked me like how I feel about all this whole thing. And I kind of just tell him, I was like, you know, the first overall pick's a lot of money to pay for a right tackle because I'm a left tackle.
Right.
We go through a couple weeks of OTAs and they end up trading the pick away. You know what I'm saying? So like that, for me, that's like when I had, like I've said, anything that comes to me, I want to barrel through it so people know how I feel.
Sure.
I don't leave anything up to I wonder what he was thinking of that. You know exactly how I'm feeling and stuff like that. So just when the draft is coming, it's got to be a hard feeling or wondering what is the possibility. It's nothing you can control, truly. But the thought of it coming up it's got to be a difficult thing at times.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it truly is, and this is kind of where you're not going to believe what I say, but just bear with me.
I'll be ready.
Yeah. It truly is like whatever happens. Because that's at the end of the day, like it's out of my control.
Yeah.
And I know that. And so I have enough security in myself to where I can be like, I know I'm a good quarterback. I know I can be a good quarterback in this league. I've proved it. And I know there's a team, if, you know, something happens, that would want me.
Yeah.
So
Well, I feel like the emotional maturity to handle it like that is impressive. Like I think I go about, I'm not saying the way I do things is a mature way because I don't. I think it's like it can be a little reckless sometimes. And for you to have the head on your shoulders you do as a quarterback that you would want.
yeah, I think it's all about who you surround yourself with too. That's how I've always thought. Like my parents, my family, my friends that I have back home, like all my high school buddies are all my best friends. So, you know, obviously there's guys in college that I, you know, I'm boys with too, but like I'm best friend. I have like 6 or 7 best friends in high school that were kind of with me before all this shit started happening. So I just kind of roll with them, and you know, if I start getting a big head, then they let me know about it.
That's
And
impressive.
so, you know, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Having boys like that around you is really special to have.
Yeah.
Definitely people that'll keep you in your place for sure. The locker room talk segment is the last thing, I promise. Okay, so the whole point of the locker room segment, it's a new thing we started last week. We started with Fred Taylor, and it's basically like something like you're sitting with the boys in the locker room, a story, whether it's off the field, on the field, that you don't usually talk about with the mainstream media. We're definitely not the mainstream media, but with media
Yours are
type of
getting there.
people. We're not trying to
Yeah.
be mainstream. We're definitely not trying to be mainstream. Buttoned up is not our forte.
Yeah.
But as far as locker room talk,
So no one's gonna listen to this.
no, we have millions of viewers, millions. We're just not mainstream. You know what I'm saying? We're not the ESPNs.
Okay. I feel like, yeah, I don't know if I can even
It's
say
kind of a
this.
weird way to segue like a segment too, like just to ask, hey, tell us a cool story.
Right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of tough.
No, it's kind of funny. Is ESPN even, I don't know, like, is TV mainstream media now? Like, is that, I mean,
That's a great
maybe it
point.
technically is, but I
Yeah.
feel like podcasts and YouTube are starting to become a little more.
It's definitely transitioning quite a bit.
Because I know, like, I'll sit on YouTube for hours,
Mhm.
you know, and not watch a lick of TV. So maybe I'm just different.
Yeah, ESPN, they let off like 100 people a couple years ago. And I mean, it's tough. Shout out all the grinders out there in the mainstream media, though, dude. Shout out you guys. But the podcast, like you see what Pat McAfee's doing. I think he's the most watched dude
Oh, yeah.
of all the places, right? Guy's making, I would say, close to $100 million a year right now.
I'm in Rogan.
Yeah, Rogan's out there too, but he's not, I mean, he's not sports, but yeah, he crushes
yeah.
CNN and NBC. We had Brandon Schaub on here, and they were saying like all those mainstream news medias take like a week, 2 weeks to just gain one of his episodes. And he's putting out 3 of those a week.
Yeah.
13 million views.
Talking.
Just talking. He's incredible at having conversations with people too.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Could you have a 4-hour conversation?
Yeah, I think I could.
You could, yeah.
Well, it's usually, the conversation usually goes off of who you're talking to, right? Like if
For sure.
Joe's on here, he's an excellent speaker. He
Yeah.
keeps things
He
flowing,
loves talking.
and he loves talking. So I don't think that'd be an issue at all
For sure.
to be on with him. But locker room segment, sorry.
Okay.
We are officially interrupting this broadcast again for another ad read. You guys love it. You need it, and you got to have it. It's like Cold Stone Creamery. One of these ones today is very special to me because if you want to smell like this, not right now because we just talked about in the beginning of the episode how I kind of smell a little bit sometimes because I come in here after a workout and just come and grind for the boys. But when your boy does sometimes get to the shower, the only thing I use is Duke Cannon. Duke Cannon, the one for you. And it's not for clowns. That's what they say, and that's what I believe. There's a lot of things they have, whether it's the big ass brick of soap, thick body wash, hair styling, beard care, which I use. And let me tell you, things are getting a little thicker. You know what I'm saying? Cologne, shave, and facial skincare. Now, one of the things I use all the time is their big ass brick of soap. And not only do I use that, they come with a little pouch. You can put the pouch in there. It's kind of like a fanny pack for your soap. The first time I saw it, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I put it in there. I scrubbed myself and I realized the suds were coming out a lot better because a lot of us nowadays just use the gel. You use the gel, you smear it on, you grab your little blue loofah and you scrub it on top. But with this thing, you use that big ass brick of soap and you can just lather the whole body out and you start smelling nice. I got to keep tailing off me when I put the Duke Cannon on. I got to. I'm not saying it's going to do that for you because I'm not going to promise you nothing. That's how life works. But at the same time, it's worked for me. Also, the cologne, I love it to death because you take it and it's not like a little spritz. It's not a spray cologne. One you kind of hit 17 times and you kind of jump in the middle of it. It has a little thing that swivels out and you rub your fingers on it and then you dab it on the neck. Dab it on the neck. One more rub and then you dab it on the wrist. You just dab it on the wrist. You use this stuff, you're going to smell great. When you smell great, what happens? The confidence goes up. Confidence goes up, you're attacking life and you're loving it to death. Duke Cannon, it's not for clowns. Check out Duke Cannon at any Target or on dukecannon.com and use code BUSSIN for 15% off your first order. Duke Cannon, it's not for clowns. And also not for clowns is this podcast. All right, we don't want clowns here. But if you are a clown, if maybe that is your profession you're watching, go ahead and subscribe anyway, baby. We didn't mean it. We didn't mean it. We don't come with the clowns. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, and make sure you comment. And I've done it before. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, TikTok again. I don't know why I said it twice, but it jumped in my head one more time. Do it, love it, live it, laugh, just like that own little brand says. Let's jump back into Sam Darnold. What is this?
Not bad. Clown salary.
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, you got to be a clown out here. 33K to 81K. This podcast is for clowns, dude. You guys are making bank out there, dude. Enjoy this podcast. Locker room talk. What kind of story do you got for us that's going to bless the bus?
You mean besides all the dudes running around naked in the locker room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about if you peek at meat too in a second.
Okay.
That's a big part of our thing, T.
Riffs only.
No, I'm a lock eyes with that kind of
Are
guy.
you?
Yeah, I think I've just moved on to not caring anymore.
Hey, you got kids, right?
Yeah, I got kids.
Okay.
I don't know
You got
what that
wife
has to
and
do with
kids.
anything. Oh, yes, wife
You know
and
what I
kids,
mean?
yeah.
So it's like
It's the best cover up I've ever had in my
100%.
entire life.
Yeah.
It's outstanding.
Yeah. Oh man. Locker room story. I don't know if it's not like a locker room story, but it happened after the Rose Bowl game. We were in the Rose Bowl and school's on winter break.
Mhm.
And so no one's at school. And so we're like, what do we do? Like literally, I'm like, Didn't have a planned out, like nothing.
Just won the Rose Bowl. Don't know what to
Won
do.
the Rose Bowl, like, what do we do? You know? Can't go out, you know, got my IDs taken away. If that's not allowed to be on this, we can take that out, I'm sure. But
Yeah, we won't. But all right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
got my IDs taken away. And so I was like 19, I think, at the time. And so I literally was like, what do we do?
Mhm.
So we go back an hour south down to my hometown, and I literally, all those guys I mentioned, we just had a time. We had a time at my buddy's house, who had a bunch of people over. He had a sick backyard, jacuzzi, all that stuff. So all the stuff you enjoy when you're 19 years old. So we had a few drinks, and we ended up thinking it was a good idea to DM Snoop Dogg,
Okay.
because he wasn't involved with USC anymore.
hmm
And I was like, dude, he'd for sure respond. All my buddies were like hyping me up, like, dude, you just won the Rose Bowl, like, you should be able to talk to him. And to this day, like 7 years, however long it is, years later, no response.
Snoop hasn't said a word.
Nothing.
He's an SC guy.
Tough, dude.
That is a
It
tough
hurt.
deal.
It cut to the core. Yeah.
I really thought that was gonna go to like he hit us up
He
and
hit
we went
us
to his
up,
house.
and we went to his house. Yeah, no.
God, did he read it?
So sorry for everyone listening, because that was a tough story.
Any
But
story with Snoop Dogg is good. Did he
anything with Snoop, yeah. But nothing, dude.
didn't read it or
Sent him,
anything?
like, I don't know. He was probably like, who are these fucking kids? Like, just recording videos, like
Send him whatever.
Snoop a loop. Yeah, just like dumb stuff. But
These dumbass crackers.
just
fucking hung
yeah,
up.
that's probably what he said. But yeah, it was just like, send him a video, and he just never responded, and I was pretty devastated.
Yeah, that's got to be tough when you put yourself out there,
100%.
especially when you tell the boys. Yeah, he probably respond and they're like, "Oh, you for sure would. You should."
It
do
wasn't
it."
even my idea. It was like one of my boys' ideas.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
A couple hours go by and it's like, oh, it's not looking good for Sammy.
yeah, right. That was kind of like where it came from, was like, we wanted something to go do.
Mhm.
An Uber up to LA probably wouldn't be super cheap, but we're gonna do it. If
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, like, come out with the boys, it'd be a good time, and just
God.
never responded.
Partying with Snoop Dogg would be all time.
Would have been sick.
You would be so high,
Yeah,
regardless of whether you wanted to or not.
right.
Yeah,
Just secondhand,
just secondhand, just stoned out of your mind.
100%. Yeah.
You think it'd be harder to smoke with Snoop Dogg or Willie Nelson?
Willie Nelson?
You think it'd be harder?
Mm-hmm.
Well, elaborate. Why do you think?
I think there was a story that came out of Willie Nelson smoking. It was like Snoop and Wiz Khalifa under the bus.
No shit.
Yeah.
Under the bus.
There you go.
Yeah, and I think Toby Keith wrote a song about he'll never smoke weed with Willie Nelson again.
Yeah.
He was
I don't
like
know.
that.
I don't know. That's what I heard. I think I heard that. Maybe it was flipped, but I'm pretty sure it was Willie Nelson.
And those two, Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg, they are like, that's their
Those are the
thing.
guys.
Those
Those
that's
are the
their
weed guys.
Yeah, those are the weed guys.
Them and Seth Rogen. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Seth Rogen does get after it, doesn't he? Listen, dude, I had an outstanding time. I hope you had a great time. We love having you on the bus. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing all that stuff. Let's give a round of applause.
Of course, dude.
Mr. Sam Darnold. Outstanding stuff. Don't forget to subscribe and rate 5 stars. Please do that. 70% of our audience, they've told us 70% just watches, don't follow. So go and click that subscribe button so we can just send this thing to the moon. God bless each and every one of you.